Oh, there we go. We're back. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I got some stuff put out today, but there weren't any commentary videos with the other offerings. That's because this is another personal playlist here from Mixtapes and Mistakes. So I'm doing a personal playlist commentary for my friend Kelly Covington. Now, ironically, this is probably going to come out on her birthday, which was not necessarily the whole plan. A confluence of events got that to be the plan. It happened. Really by accident. I'm just going to say it like that. It was an accident. So, that being said, we're doing it. It's mostly a hard rock themed list. Some Alice in Chains, some Tool. Because that's, a lot of the type of music that Kelly likes. I try to do that. I try to pick stuff that you like. It's kind of hallmark of this list. I was talking to somebody else, talking to another friend of mine today. I try to kind of explain like my method for doing these. So I try to pick either a genre theme based on music that I already know you like, or I'll pick like a section of music I think that kind of reminds me of the person, and I usually try to put in a song or two that I think the person may or may not have heard. So going through the list real quick before we do a lot of stuff, I put "It Ain't Like That" on here by Alice in Chains. The reason I did that, so "It Ain't Like That" I think overall is the song that shows that band off best. It's not like Wood, which shows off their bass player. It's not like Rooster, which I think kind of shows off Jerry Cantrell a lot more. But overall, as a sound, like if you had to pick a song, it's like, hey, introduce me to this band. It Ain't Like That song I'd probably play if I had to introduce people to Alice in Chains. I picked an old one on here too because I'm old. So I was an okay Suicidal Tendencies fan. And I think Suicidal Tendencies kind of predates or might be like the grandparent of some other things we've seen in music over the last 10 years at least. And I could probably do a whole list of songs kind of on the topic that "Send Me Your Money" does. But I've always loved that song, and when I first time I heard it, I was like, "Whoa, this is about something that people need to kind of like." So, and it does it, but it never. But you have to catch it. "Send Me Your Money" is kind of about televangelism, and something that modern kids won't get is, even though there's a lot more religious networks now that you can find on cable or satellite, or there's apps or whatever. But places like TBN were big in the 80s. Like people underestimate now, really, because Joel Osteen kind of exposes, is kind of the new poster child in a very old school way of what it used to be like. Like, really and truly, not to real, like, I'm on a tangent here for a second, but so the mega churches basically end up becoming what televangelism was in the 80s, and "Send Me Your Money" is kind of about that deal in a way. So I had to put it on here because I was like, when I'm going through my just looking around for music to put in these lists, and I was like, I just stumbled. I was like, I think this song will work, so I found it and put it on there. There is. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this now because it's semi breaking news. I was actually gonna do like a whole video on this whole Tom Araya thing. So Tom Araya is putting together a new lineup for what he's going to call Slayer. I have a whole article. Let me pull up this article real quick. But the upshot of that whole story is that everybody's most infamous frontman in hard rock heavy metal, Phil Anselmo, looks like it's gonna be the frontman for this project. And it's been the talk of kind of like I guess rock Twitter or rock Instagram for a minute. The story's out there. I was gonna do like a whole video on it, and I decided not to, really, because it's a semi rumor. Like, it's not like the record company hasn't come out and said anything official. Tom has, other than like his Instagram, maybe had to come out and made like a big deal about it. But there's talk. So I wanted to talk about that for a second before I talk about the song Cowboys from Hell by Pantera. I didn't put Walk on this list because Walk is kind of it's their most well-known song, but I try not to do these lists, I guess, in what I like to call the McDonald's sort of way, in that if you pick just the most well-known thing, people look at it like, well, yeah, Walk, I do that song. And Walk, though it's a great song, and I always get hyped about it when I listen to it because it's a badass song. I've always thought Cowboys from Hell was a better song, so I wanted it on there. The rest of the songs on the list have a theme, I guess you could say. And what the theme, I guess, is, I'm going to leave, by the way, I'm going to skip the song that's the song that, I always put a song on the list that I know the person that, I'm fairly sure the person that I'm doing the list for has not heard. There is a song here I'm almost positive you've not heard. But the theme for kind of the rest of the list, because it's a lot of Pretty Reckless and some Hailstorm, and it's really about the fact that Kelly personally is a strong woman. She's not a quitter. She's not the type of person that just walks away from stuff. She takes a lot of stuff head on, and that's kind of what I like about the vibe of both Pretty Reckless and Hailstorm, is that both of those bands do a really good job of just kicking ass and taking names in an era where it seems like the genre is in another valley. Like, the whole hard rock heavy metal. Like, what I love about this era is that we're past like the Vixen stage, where it's like, yes, it's a hot band that's nominally good but doesn't have a whole lot of hit songs, or doesn't get a whole lot of attention. And now we're in this era where you can have a hot female front person, a front man or whatever, the lead singer can be absolutely hot and can have chops, but it's not about what gets that band publicity. Isn't about the drama. I guess that's really why I never really was a huge Evanescence fan. It seemed like that band, their reputation seemed to revolve around Amy Lee's relationships, or like that was the media around it at the time. And not that Amy doesn't have a good voice or whatever. It's just that it gave me that vibe, and I was like, it's not a good vibe. It's not a vibe I'm really, even though the music's okay, it's not a vibe I'm necessarily was super into. But I think those two bands are a really good example of who Kelly is. And so, I put them on there because, who doesn't want to watch those bands? So, that's it. I think that's what I got. I didn't want to go like super long. I tried to do like these in like 10 minutes. So we're doing this. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. We got a bunch more of these to do, so we're gonna keep doing them. So Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Kelly, and we'll catch you later.